Yeah, the toilet paper holder has been pulled out of the wall again. And this time it looks really bad. So we're going to have to figure out what to do with this. So let's get started. The first thing is to loosen the set screw that holds this in place. Okay, there we go. You can loosen it a little more. Don't want this thing to just tear right out of the wall. It's heavy, and I think it gets banged. I've already fixed this once. Obviously it didn't work that well, but it did last for a number of years. Initially, when the builder did this, they were just basic drywall anchors, and then I changed out to the threaded drywall anchors, which clearly are better, but they fail also, as you can see. Yeah, this is terrible. Look, they don't even hold. My first idea was to epoxy these in, but there's absolutely no hold here, so we're having to jump right up to the top tier of drywall anchor. The best would be to drill this into a stud, or to put a big plate here that anchors into studs, and then you can anchor into that. But I don't think my wife would find that very attractive. So we're going to have to do something that stays concealed within this, and I think the answer to this is going to be toggle bolts. So this is the evolution of drywall anchors. At best they're poor, at worst they're absolutely terrible. This is where it all began, with these cylindrical inserts. And many times when you would put the screw in to start to expand it, they would spin. And they didn't have very much grip surface, and basically they were terrible. They evolved to a tapered plug that was better, and if you drilled the correct size hole, it would actually grip pretty well. The screw would expand it because there are these slots in here that allow for this plastic to expand, and it would grip the drywall better. But still, it was not very good. This evolved further into these plugs that have these wings, and they hold better, they grip better, slightly better. But the next big, really big improvement were these threaded inserts. You actually pound these, and these could actually pierce into through the skin and into the substance of the drywall, and then you screw these in to the drywall till they're flush or even slightly concave, and then you drill your anchoring screw into that, and these actually held pretty well, and that's what I use, but they can fail too, clearly. These come in many shapes and sizes. These plastic ones are actually very good, but these metal ones are even better. So these metal ones are actually quite good, and many times work very well, and we don't have to do anything else about that. But even these can fail. And when they do, we need something to fall back on, and these types of toggle bolts are very helpful. These plastic ones are good. These metal ones are better. So because I don't want to go back and do this again, clearly, we're going to use these metal ones, and hopefully this will be a permanent fix, and we won't have to go back and do that again. But that's the evolution of drywall anchors. Should you jump right away to using these? No, I don't believe so. These threaded inserts actually work quite well. The plastic ones in general for me have been great, but if you're in a high traffic area where things are getting banged, bumped, etc., you might want to go to the metal ones, or even jump right away to these toggle or these expansion plugs, these toggle bolts. So that's what we're going to do next. Well, nothing's easy, is it? You can see I got the epoxy up because I thought I was going to epoxy those in, but that's a no-go. And these toggle bolts that I think will be ideal for this, look how long that bolt is. It's just too long. So I found in my spare bolt collection two really nice ones, but only two. So I need to cut this one off. So what I'll do is I'll just measure the proper length here to make them equal. Just get a small bolt cutter and cut that off in a second. Okay, so we've measured this to about this length. Yeah, I've got probably a bigger bolt cutter than I need, but it's going to make it easy. There it is. And the reason I put the nuts on there, left the nuts on there, is because sometimes the bolt cutter can really damage the threads. And I didn't want to have to retap this. But these nuts here, as they come back out over this, and you see it's a little tight. We'll rethread that. Of course, it's a flathead, so we'll just take that out. So the threads are recutting, or the nuts are recutting the threads. So it should go into the toggle in a pretty straightforward way. There we go. Good. So that's a lot better. So it should probably fit. Let's just check. I also have a washer on the end of it to disperse the pressures. And let's see how this fits. The whole foot will go right in there. Okay, so I nipped the ends off this to make it into a little point with some side cutters, and it should go now. Yeah, there it goes. So what we'll do, okay, this is ready to go back in, so we'll install this in just a second. Okay, let's put this back in. So the way this is done, these toggles are bent together, and when they go through the drywall, they should expand. There's 1, 2, 3. And I can feel it getting probably some insulation. So let's see if we can tighten these up. Okay, that one's good. Let's pull that, let's hold the washer. Get that into a better position. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to use just a hand driver. I don't want to over tighten these, over torque these, because it's in there. It's solid now. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh yeah, really good. Yep, I don't think I'm going to have to come back here for this. So, this plate goes on. There's a nylon washer here. Again, this goes in with the set screw at the bottom, of course. That needs to be tightened when we have this fully in position. Let's get started. Yeah, it's very heavy. That's probably one of the reasons that it failed. It's the weight of it. There we go. I'll just tighten this up. That should be good for a long time. Thank you very much for watching. Hope that was helpful. Until next time, it's Dr. Joe.